What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Steelers Saturday Sit Down with Around the 412. I'm Smitty. That is Tyler. What's going on, pal?
Dude, I'm doing good. And that just made my morning even better. Um, I'm geared up for this Steelers game that we have going on. It's crazy that we find ourselves in mid-November and we have not played a divisional opponent yet. I don't know that there's been a schedule in our lifetime that has been similar to this, where we just have not seen a divisional game until mid-November. That's something that's an anomaly. I mean, we sometimes have divisional games the first game of the season for the Steelers.
I would say, well,
And
the
to not
last
have
2
one
years,
until now.
last year was the second game. The year before that, it was the first game. Like Cleveland last year, Cincinnati the year before that. Like, yeah, it's typically at least a couple early in the season. But hey, I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining. It makes for some exciting football down the stretch, mixed in with some games with like Philly and Kansas City. You got some good opponents in there. It doesn't make it any easier for the Steelers. But as far as an entertainment factor, this is like an all-time high last half of the season that you could ask for the Steelers.
Which I think is, Hard Knocks also going to start filming after this week as well. So not this week. Somebody asked us that for Steelers Afternoon Drive, and Alan provided some context there. They're doing like some stuff, but they're not filming within the facility yet. Like they're talking to some players and like setting up because they're going to be asking them, I guess, for time aside, which is going to be annoying for the players, I'm sure as well. And I can't wait to ask Pat about that. But yeah, so anyways, like that's not fully rolling yet, but that's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out on television as well on the in-season Hard Knocks with the entire division. But anyways, to your point, yeah, man, like what this is the first divisional game, and what a divisional game for it to be. Steelers Ravens always seems to mean a little bit more, and especially this week with it being, for the time being, whoever wins this game will be in first place in the division. And if the Steelers win, I feel like, I'm not saying that you're starting to create a little bit of a gap there. Baltimore hasn't had their bye yet or anything like that, but this one feels really important, and obviously it is. And like, when do you think the last time was that we had this important of a regular season game between the Steelers and Ravens? Like, obviously they've had to win.
My gut reaction is
for both sides.
My gut reaction, I believe it was a Christmas game, the AB stretching over the goal line to win the division, essentially.
That's the last with both teams, because like last year in Ben's last year, we had to beat the Ravens, but like their one party was already decided by that point, really.
Yeah, and so that's my gut is going back to that Antonio Brown game where he stretched it over the goal line, because that was whoever won that game basically won the division, right? Unless I'm mistaken. So the fact that the Steelers won that game, they win the AFC North, that would probably the last time I'd say that we've had a game of this caliber. Now, I know there's a lot of NFL season left and a lot can change, but being in the driver's seat for the division after this game is going to be an advantage for either team that wins it. And I know that for Steeler fans especially, being able to get as much of a buffer in these games as you can, which we talked about in the first half of the season, try to win as many games as you can, because you know the second half is going to be much more challenging than the first half was. That continues game by game as this schedule continues to roll along. Winning against Baltimore this week and then going to Cleveland and winning against them, like as long as you can keep winning and stacking up wins, that is making a buffer for what could be a letdown as far as not only just winning the division goes, but like this is a tough schedule, and there's probably a lot of people looking at this schedule for the Steelers right now and saying there's a chance that they could be pushing for being challenged for a wild card if they don't turn out in favor in some of these games. So just having that buffer of wins is going to be something that pays dividends for the Steelers more specifically than the Ravens, just because of the challenge of their schedule looking to it from now to the end of the season.
And like, we know this one's going to be physical, so even like Cleveland on a short week, I think after this is going to provide more of a challenge than when you think about playing a 2-win Browns team. I mean, divisional games are always a bit different, and no Ohio's throw the record book out the window, literally. But I think especially on a short week like that, I wouldn't look past them. Now, we're not here to talk about that game. Let's talk about the Ravens one. On the surface, we're going to dive into obviously some team matchups and stuff like that. What is your gut reaction to this game when you think about this Ravens team going up against the Steelers team? What is the first thing that you think about when it comes to this matchup?
Rushing the football, and it's kind of a polar opposite on both sides. The Ravens are very good at it. They are number one in the NFL, and they're also number one in the NFL is stopping the run. And that is where my mind goes thinking about this matchup, how the identity that we've seen the Steelers kind of create is a powerful run game that opens up the play action and gets the offense rolling that way. That's at least what it's been since Russell Wilson has taken over the offense. That's going to be more challenging this week, considering you're going against the number one run-efficient defense, and being able to do that as well as opening up the play action. You're going to have to continue to try to get the run going, or at least attempt to get the run, because even if the run is not working as well, play action can still work if you're not getting chunk yardage with the run game. But that's something that I'm going to be interested to see how Arthur Smith attacks this week, because we haven't played a defense this stout in the run game before. And then on the other side of that, we've seen at times where the Steelers' run defense, despite being I believe they're still top 10 in run defense, but I think that's something that you've seen at times this season teams take advantage of for the Steelers in like individual games. Like I look at like a few weeks ago when they played the Giants and Tyrone Tracy. I don't think anybody saw him having the game that he did against the Steelers defense. But now you're going against Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. Like, this is a very serious run threat for the Steelers defense. So I think that you're going to see a healthy challenge on both sides of the ball in the same area, whether it comes to stopping the run or attacking with the run.
The Steelers are still fourth against the run, by the way. I think the point that you said there about Baltimore's run defense, I think a lot of people look at the surface level numbers, see they're number one against the run and 32nd against the pass, and your immediate thought could be, okay, well, are they number one against the run because nobody's trying to run the ball on them, because you don't have to. You can just air it out and throw the ball with them. But like you said, when it comes to the efficiency, they're number one success rate against the run. So they are just legitimately good against the run. For whatever reason, I've not been able to figure it out on the back end of things, which is really weird, because like if you look on paper, there's not like a whole heck of a, like, you can't see the reason necessarily that they are so bad against the pass. Like a couple years ago, or even just last year, Brandon Stevens was somebody that football Twitter was like in love with as a number 2 cornerback opposite Marlon Humphrey. They gave a lot of money to Marcus Williams. Like Roquan Smith was an all-pro, and he's getting gashed on these crossers, and he just doesn't look like the same athlete. Like, so it's just, what is going on at the second 2 levels that they are so bad against the pass? It's going to be interesting to see if the Steelers can take advantage of that. The Ravens offense off to a historic pace this year. They listen to some of these numbers. Total yards per game, 450 per game, number 1 easily in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 257, that's third. 183 rushing yards per game, that's first. 31.8 points per game, that is first. 47.2% third down conversion percentage, that is fourth. They are, Derek threw this out there yesterday when he was on the afternoon drive. I don't want to misspeak, but they are one of like 3 or 4 teams in NFL history through 10 games that have averaged over 400 yards per game and 30 points per game. So like this offense is one of the best in NFL history. I guess the question for me, what it really comes down to is we got strength against strength in this one with the Ravens offense against the Steelers defense. So it's going to come down to, do you trust the Steelers offense against the Ravens defense more so than, or which one do you trust more between those two, the Steelers offense or the Ravens defense? I think that is really where this conversation needs to be had, because I'm not saying that they're going to totally cancel each other out, the Ravens offense and the Steelers defense. I think the Ravens are going to certainly get theirs. The Steelers offense is obviously going to have to put up some points in this one. As a matter of fact, if these numbers are to be, legitimate here, they've got to score about 30 to be in this football game.
Yeah.
So we'll get down to our predictions after, but what is your thought in terms of how can the Steelers offense attack this Ravens defense? We know, like, injury-wise, relatively healthy. We know they're going to be without Art Millette. Travis Jones, which would be, if he doesn't play, that's massive. I think he's going to play. He's had this ankle injury that he's been dealing with. He was limited on Friday, but again, he's just been dealing with this. So what is your thought process if you're the Steelers offense in terms of attacking this Ravens defense?
Well, you kind of said it. Like the passing defense has been subpar for the Ravens. I mean, that's I think putting it a little lightly. I think that there's opportunity for Russell Wilson to attack the secondary, and I think that the Steelers can attack the middle of the field. You mentioned it, Roquan Smith. It looks like he's lost a step. Trenton Simpson hasn't been that good in coverage either this season. And so when you see something like that, that to me screams like a Pat Freiermuth type of game. I know we've said that so many times this season, but I really feel like they could attack the middle of the field and use him in that way. I think that, like I mentioned, if the Steelers aren't getting the run game going, we've seen how the outside the numbers deep ball threat of the Steelers passing attack has increased over the last several games with Russell Wilson. I think that could continue. Huge opportunity for games like with George Pickens and Mike Williams. I think Mike Williams could have a bigger impact in this game. He only saw 8 snaps in the game against Washington, but I think you're going to see a much bigger role in this one. I just think that this is a game where switching to Russell Wilson is going to pay its dividends because you have Justin Fields in the offense. I don't think the passing attack at this point in the season, but you have Russell Wilson taking over. We have seen that jump in the passing attack whenever the run game is not going to be able to get going, and we're not sure that it's actually going to be able to in this one because of how stout the Ravens front is against the run. I think that having that opportunity for the passing attack to take this game over is something that Arthur Smith's going to have to do. That's something that Russell Wilson is going to have to be efficient at. The wide receivers are going to have to get open, but I think that they're going to have a good opportunity to. Like you mentioned, on paper, there is a reason why the Ravens defense should be this bad against the pass, but for some reason they are, and the Steelers just need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, like I said, the Travis Jones thing I think is going to be big for me. If he's able to, if he for whatever reason doesn't play, that would be huge in the middle of the defense. Like him and Justin Madubuike are just absolutely ridiculous in the middle of that defense. I remember your reaction when we found out that the Ravens landed Travis Jones in the draft because you had walked away and you came back and you saw the ticker scroll past and you just threw your headphones off and walked back.
My headphones and walked away.
We both really like Travis Jones coming out of UConn, and he just seemed like a Raven, so of course he landed with them. But yeah, I mean, you brought up Pat. I think that he's averaging less than 4 targets per game this season, which I just I don't get. I know that there's obviously some bias there, but we talked about it even before. The hiring of Arthur Smith to us meant that he was going to be much more involved in the offense, and then they don't go out and shake up the wide receiver room in a massive way. Now they've gotten Mike Williams in here now, but still, Pat Freiermuth, we thought was going to easily be the number 2 option in this receiving game. And also just the way that they are moving him around or lack thereof. We thought that was going to be something that we would see a lot more. So I don't know, maybe this is the week that we finally do see it with, the liability that the Ravens have been in terms of containing tight ends. I don't want to bring fantasy football into this, but it is a good indicator in terms of how productive tight ends are against them. They're giving up the 4th most fantasy points to tight ends this year. So that goes to show you tight ends have certainly had success against this defense. Just goes to show you what Roquan hasn't been this year for them.
Yeah. Well, and another thing too about tight ends is speaking of the Steelers specifically, we've kind of seen an increased role or a more elevated role than we thought we were going to with Darnell Washington in the receiving game. I don't think either of us thought that he would be this involved as far as getting targets over Pat Freiermuth. It seems like the Steelers have kind of utilized him more so just as far as how often they use him standpoint. Pat Freiermuth has had some catches in each game, but it seems like they're targeting Darnell Washington a lot, which I don't blame them. He's a freak athlete, for how big and how strong he is.
He seems to be the go-to target on those Russ play action rollouts. Regardless of what side it's to, it's typically to the right. Darnell in the flat seems to be the go-to for those.
Yeah, which is fine, and I get it. He is a freak of nature, but it's just curious to me how much they have utilized Darnell Washington in spell of what seems like Pat Freiermuth in this offense. Pat Freiermuth has had some great plays. We just think that he would have been getting the ball a lot more so far this season.
Sticking with the Steelers offense against the Ravens defense, Tyler Hurnley says, I saw one Ravens fan on Twitter saying Nate Wiggins should be on GP and another saying he should exclusively see Humphrey. Which guy would likely allow more success for Pickens? Marlon Humphrey's actually had a little bit of a bounce back year, in my opinion. I think he's been better this year than he was last year. I wasn't ready to say he was fully cooked or anything like that, but I was wondering if he should maybe see a more reduced role, but he's been pretty good this year. Nate Wiggins is an awesome cover corner. Body type, I have a hard time seeing him be able to keep up with George Pickens in that respect. like the physicality of the game. I'm not sure. This is going to be a great test for Nate Wiggins, who I really liked as a cover corner, but had a lot of questions just because of the height and weight, how he would hold up against the AFC North. I don't think George Pickens is a great matchup for him, but I don't think he's a great matchup for Marlon Humphrey either. So I think that I think your best bet is probably Marlon Humphrey with somebody else over top.
I would agree with that. I think the body matchup for Nate Wiggins just doesn't match up well. And like you mentioned, I don't think it matches up with anybody well. George Pickens is just a freak athlete and can do a lot of things with his body that not a lot of receivers can do. So I don't even think the size matchup that Marlon Humphrey would bring you is really an advantage for the Ravens. I just think that it'd be more of a disadvantage for Nate Wiggins to have to go against him.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some explosive plays. I think we're going to see some explosive plays in the pass game because they have been able to keep a lid on things. Like Derek's bold prediction was George Pickens has a 50-yard receiving touchdown in this one. The Ravens have had a lot of coverage busts. They haven't kept a lid on things on the back end. It sounds, I mean, they're going to get Kyle Hamilton back. We'll see what version of Kyle Hamilton, because that looked pretty bad. But yeah, they just, again, whatever's going on in the back end, whether it is just guys completely falling off a cliff at this point in their careers, just randomly all in one year, or it's a lot of communication or whatever's going on, they've been very bad on the back end in terms of containing things. So we'll see if that happens again on Sunday. The Steelers, the one thing that I'll say, as opposed with this year, as opposed to years in the past, I think that they are more built now to play in this type of game than they have been in years past. Like if we were facing this Ravens offense last year, I don't have the faith that the Steelers offense is going to be able to keep up with a team like this after the last few weeks, especially going to what the offenses looked like under Russell Wilson. I think there's a little bit more optimism that they can play in this type of football game, which it's so weird to be talking about Steelers Ravens and talking about it potentially being an offensive shootout as opposed to the other way around.
That is weird. That is weird. Although one thing that I don't think you're going to get from the Steelers this week, at least not a ton of, is the passing attack out of the backfield. It doesn't really seem like Jaylen Warren is going to be playing in this one. He did not practice on Thursday, was limited on Friday. I don't know about you, and maybe you talked to Alan, so you may have more insight on this. That doesn't seem like someone that's trending in the right direction for being able to play on Sunday.
They're listing him as questionable. He's not playing. Like, I mean, he's a tough dude. I'm sure that he would want to give it a go. He's not playing in this one. Neither is Michael Pruitt. But just from Jaylen Warren's perspective, like, obviously he's a guy that you'd love to have in any game, but like, especially against the Ravens, I just feel like with the one thing that they've been able to do, I know that people were talking about, I was talking about them needing to go get another pass rusher, but they're like fourth in sacks, and they get quarterback hits. They just don't, they're like dead last in hurries for whatever reason. So it's really weird, the contrast that's there for whatever reason. But like a way that you can slow that down is obviously in the screen game. Jaylen Warren at his best, at least physically, like we haven't seen Jaylen Warren really be Jaylen Warren yet this year. What a frustrating year it's been for him. I said that he's like the offense's version of Alex Highsmith with all the injuries that he's had to deal with and how frustrating it's had to be. But he's also their best running back in pass pro. Like none of them are necessarily bad, but he's the best. So I think that you're losing a lot when you don't have Jaylen Warren available for you. Like Cordero Patterson, to me, is going to have to step up in a big way in this game, because it can't all be Najee. I think Cordero is a physical runner, and he's going to have to be that type of bowling ball presence against this defense. Because I think you're going to need all hands on deck. I'm more curious as to who the back is that they're going to elevate. They're going to need a third one. Jonathan Ward is out of elevations. Is that just default automatically to Aaron Champlin? And is he going to have any role with that being the case, or is it all going to be just Najee and Cordero?
I mean, Champlin makes sense for who they'd elevate. I just don't think that he would have a role. If I'm being completely honest with you, I just don't think that the Steelers
maybe they keep Cordero away from the kickoffs, like have it be.
Yeah. I think that'd be smart. I don't know how you do that.
It's been Cordero and Jaylen, so now you don't have Jaylen. Can you keep Cordero? Because that'd be both of your guys then that are normally back there. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do there.
Yeah, I think that this is gonna be a heavy Najee Harris game, and you're gonna see Cordell in there somewhat, but I think that you're probably gonna see a vast majority of the running back snaps go to Najee Harris. I just don't think that this is something that helps the Steelers. Like, and I think I saw you say Steelers whenever Jaylen Warren plays, even though in some of these games he's been limited, the fact that he plays or is dressed, they're 7-0. When he doesn't play, they're 0-2. What a game changer plays at. Just kidding. I think that there is something to that. And then you mentioned he's the best in pass protection. That helps with what the Steelers would be going for this week. You're not going to have that. So it's up to guys like Najee and Cordell to step up, because I think that that's where you're going to see the vast majority of the offense in this game. Like, it would not surprise me at all if the Steelers had like 60 yards rushing, but over 300 yards passing in this game. Like that's the type of game that I think we're gearing towards because of the matchups with the defense, but also the success of the rushing attack rushing defense, I should say, for the Ravens or defense. I just think that it's going to be too much for the Steelers to really get it going. And I think that it's something that I don't know if I necessarily think the Steelers offensive line is going to be able to like be the tipping point over the edge to have the success against the offense. I feel like the Ravens have played some better offensive lines overall. It's in terms of like getting the rushing attack going, and they still had success against it.
Speaking of the passing game, Tyler mentioned having Mike Williams on the other side now may complicate that for Baltimore too. So yeah, I mean, you got Marlon Humphrey, you got Nate Wiggins, and you got Brandon Stevens. You got to figure out how to deploy those guys against these receivers, and two of them are bigger body guys in Mike Williams and George Pickens. To me, like body type wise, that would mean Marlon and Brandon Stevens, who want to get on Mike Williams and George Pickens, Nate Wiggins on like a Calvin Austin potentially in the slot. I'm not sure how Nate Wiggins, like what the snap distribution has been. Like, has he played a ton in the slot? I have no idea. And the Steelers too, like, we haven't seen a ton of 3 wide receiver sets. Like, we see a lot of 11 personnel. We see a lot of 13 personnel. Like, I'm curious to see what that looks like as well. But certainly the inclusion of Mike Williams could complicate things for Baltimore on the back end, depending on just how efficient that is. And also just because we talked about it before, if Mike Williams does continue to do, what he did last week it's just one play, but say that he continues to be able to get that separation deep, and now teams are noticing that, they got to start shading a safety that way. You're already shading a safety towards George. You got to play too high. One less guy in the box. Maybe that is, a path of success for this run game if they're able to do that. So, Jamal Agnew time.
I don't know about 2024 snaps, but in 2023, Nate Wiggins had 14 snaps in the slot, and even going back to 2022, he only had 5. Huh?
So you're saying in college?
Yeah. In college, he did. Yeah, he hasn't played a lot in the slot. So I don't know about the NFL. I don't know about this season, but like in college, that is just something he did not do.
Yeah. Jalen Warren is Mwelde Moore. I did not expect Mwelde Moore to get a shout out on the show, but I'm all for it. I was a big Mwelde Moore fan. I think he was ahead of his time in terms of what he was a receiving back. I think if he were playing in the league right now, he'd be a lot more propped up for what he was able to do and what he was as a player. Clearly more suited to run blocking, so knowing how good Baltimore is against the run, very interesting to see how this plays out. Yeah, I will say, like, a thing that I'm circling this week and really want to see is Broderick Jones, just because I thought he was pretty good last week, or at least for what he has been, was solid. Like, he didn't get anybody killed, didn't even allow a single pressure last game. So it's just one game, but that's why I'm saying, like, this one I'm circling now as we get into divisional ball to see, can he start stacking weeks of that? Maybe he just needed that reset. I don't know. Oh, and yeah, right on cue.
Broderick Jones did better. No one ever talked about him after that last game. Yeah. He did do better, and I think that Broderick Jones is kind of like a corner in the sense of it's not necessarily a bad thing if you don't notice them in the game. Like we have noticed Broderick Jones several times this season. Most of it has been bad, but when you're not seeing a lot of people talk about Broderick Jones, that probably is going to tend to be a good thing. So even though he didn't get as much flowers as he should have last week, I think that that's something that is trending in the right direction as far as his play, because it couldn't have got much worse earlier in this season. And so all we were hoping for is improvement for the rest of the season, because we knew they weren't going to move on to anybody else. I mean, when Dylan Cook came back, they're going to put him in? Don't think so. So we knew that he was good. We knew that he was going to be the starter for the rest of the season with the injuries that the Steelers were dealing with. And so the fact that he has shown an upward tick in trending in the right direction, that is a positive sign. Hopefully it continues, and it's going to be a big test this week.
All right, let's talk about the Ravens offense versus Steelers defense a little bit here. Obviously, it starts with Lamar Jackson and defending him. The Steelers have done a better job against him than anybody else, but I think people also maybe make a little bit more of that than they should. I mean, so everybody talks about the record and stuff like that. The thing is, 2 of those games he threw, like one of those he didn't throw a single pass in. The other one he threw exactly 1 pass in. So it's really a 4-game sample size that we're talking about. With Lamar Jackson against the Steelers, and he has turned the football over at least once every single one of those games. Last year, threw a awful pick to Joey Porter Jr. in the red zone, which should never have happened. But to me, that was really like his one mistake in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lamar was very good last year against the Steelers. They had 7 drops. Mark Andrews had 2 of them, who never drops the ball. Like it was just a very uncharacteristic game. The playmakers let him down. The one thing that he did do other than that pick is probably like some of those sacks that he took were certainly on him trying to do too much. But also like a big thing has been made, and I see it as well watching him. I think you can tell that he cut weight. Like last year, he wanted to be bigger for whatever reason. This year, he decided to drop the weight back down again to try to be more mobile. And I think that you're seeing that as well. So I'm excited for this one to see how they defend him. And now you got Derrick Henry in the fold as well, which brings a whole new element in terms of how to defend him. So I think it's not just like, one of those games where you can just chalk it up to, oh, it's the Steelers against Lamar. They've limited him better than any other defense in the league. That's true, but I also think it's overblown a little bit. And now you get Derrick Henry in the mix as well. I think the receiving group is better than it has been in the past. So this is a team that can score points. I still think they're going to be able to do so against the Steelers defense. Again, it comes down to which one do you trust more between Steelers offense or the Ravens defense. But what are your first thoughts about this Ravens offense?
They can run the football, and I feel like that's obviously very evident. Derrick Henry has over 1,100 yards already this season. Lamar Jackson, you already know what he can do running the football. I think that this is obviously the biggest matchup that the Steelers have had this season. And not just because it's a divisional game, but it's the best offense that they've played. And I feel more confident this season than I do in probably seasons past if we were playing the same offense. It's kind of the same thing with the defense and the offense of the Steelers and the Ravens that you said, is that like in years past, I don't know that the Steelers defense at every single level is capable, is at the high enough level to stop this offense the way it's humming right now. But this season, having the defensive line that we do mixed with the linebacker we added in Patrick Queen from Baltimore, thank you, and then having the secondary playing like they have for the majority of the season, I feel comfortable in saying that I think the Steelers can limit the Ravens offense, but I don't know that I'm comfortable enough to say that they're going to completely shut them down. And like you said, we're gonna get into predictions, but I think this is going to be a higher scoring game, and that's something that is very un-Steelers Ravens like. But what I see in this game is I think that the Steelers need to limit Lamar Jackson through the air, because I feel like that's just something that is a sneaky threat that Steeler fans are going to overlook because he's Lamar Jackson. And everybody likes to say he's the running back playing quarterback. If you have that mentality in this game, he is going to burn you in the air. And I think that the Steelers secondary need to pin their ears back and be good in coverage. That way, if you're taking away the pass, it has to be focused on the running attack for the Ravens offense. And I know that maybe something that most Steeler fans don't want to hear is that I want the Ravens attack to be focused solely on running the football. But I just feel more comfortable having a better success rate against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson running the football than I do if you get him going through the air. Because if you have a combination of both, I think that is troublesome for the Steelers defense. I just think that if you're going to take away one, and you have more likelihood to take away one, you're more likely to take away the pass in this game. And so they'd have to focus on the run. I just think that you're going to find some more success that way.
Well, also, if it turns into a running against running, you're shortening the game, you're taking the air out of the football, and you're not getting into that shootout that we talked about, and maybe that favors the Steelers a little bit if that is the case. But one thing that was very concerning to me about the Steelers versus Commanders game was what they looked like on the back end in terms of their man coverage. So I'd be trying to stay out of man as much as possible in this game, and I don't think that the Steelers will show a ton of it. I think they're going to play a lot of zones, and I think they're going to mix things up on the back end. But Dante Jackson, much better zone corner. Cam Sutton was not running with anybody. Like, he just looked like he couldn't do it. And I don't know if it was just like first game back thing or what, but he just didn't athletically look like he could do that job. Now, getting Corey Trice back in the mix, maybe that's an area that they go to. Maybe that's who they look to in terms of a solution, but it's kind of hard for me to think that they're going to play him over either of those two guys for better or worse. Like, I would like just play your best players. If he gives you the best shot in terms of manning up with somebody, you got to do it. But I just don't necessarily think they're going to give him snaps over Dante Jackson or Cam Sutton. So we'll see what happens in terms of that. But that to me is the one thing defensively that I saw against Washington that I was like, okay, Lamar hits this. Like Jaden Daniels, I think a lot of the rib stuff is honestly affecting the way that he's throwing, but he was missing like easy crossers, which could have gone for big yardage. There was one that he threw out of the end zone on like the second to last drive for them or whatever, where it could have been like a 90-some yard touchdown if he hits it and he missed it. And Lamar's not missing those. So I think that it's going to be interesting to see what the defensive game plan is now, because this is a new look Baltimore offense. Because of the different elements and the different dimension that they have. So we'll see. But I'm very excited to see Patrick Queen and Deshaun Elliott in this one. Two different kind of approaches they took this week when talking about their time with the Ravens and now being in Pittsburgh. Like, you know, Patrick obviously feels like he never wanted to leave Baltimore. They didn't even offer him a contract. Deshaun Elliott's just like talking smack on Marlon Humphrey's podcast about the rivalry, and the Dolphins got a ricochet shot within there as well. So I'm excited for those guys to kind of take on the villain role on this side now of things. And I see we got a Ravens person in the chat. That's cool too. Like, if you came here thinking that we were just to be smack talking the Ravens, like obviously we hate them. To me, best rivalry in football. I hate Baltimore while we're playing the game, but I have so much respect for that franchise and that organization. I think that they are the closest parallel there is to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I feel differently about them than I do, like Cincinnati, Cleveland. Like, there's just a level of respect there with Baltimore that I don't have for the other two.
And I got to say, I don't know if you missed it earlier. We are keeping that real. We had mentioned how Lamar Jackson was good against.
I feel like he's probably
last year.
I think he's more so talking to the other people in the chat, because I have.
Okay. Yeah. Because Lamar Jackson was good last year. We just didn't see. We saw a ton of drops. That was what the difference was.
Ravens 76B more. This is whose YouTube channel you need to go to and get at for this comment. Go harass him in the comments. But no, I think it's going to be interesting. Honestly, this could come down to special teams, which I would give the advantage to the Steelers over anybody in the league. Obviously, Justin Tucker has had a great career. I'm curious to see Ravens 76B more thoughts on this, but I think he's taken a step back. I'm not going to say he's fully washed or anything like that, but I don't anymore look at it like, okay, if you like where the kickoff, especially where kickoffs start now, if they get 2 first downs and you're in field goal range, I don't necessarily feel like it's like an automatic thing anymore with Justin Tucker. And I do feel like it is with Chris Boswell. So I do think that the Steelers have an advantage in terms of the special teams in this one. And that might even play into my prediction here in a second. So was there anything else you wanted to touch on from, either side of the ball for either team before we get into our predictions? And by the way, stick around after the predictions, because we're going to do the jersey auction with all proceeds going directly to our Christmas fundraiser, Rocking Around the 412, which we don't talk a whole lot about on Saturday Sit Down, but it's year 7 of our Christmas mission. Every single penny that is donated goes directly to providing Christmas for kids in the 724 and 412 areas. We've been doing this, like I said, for 7 years. Over the last 6 years, we've raised over $32,000. If you're including this year, we're now past $35,000 raised with this mission. You can go to the link in the GoFundMe, which is our pinned post and everything. And it will give you the full description, show you some pictures from past years of the mission and stuff like that. So, okay, finally. I disagree with this. Completely wrong. The numbers do not back this up whatsoever. He's been good in coverage literally this entire year, unlike Roquan Smith. The beginning of the year, there was issues, obviously, with the run fits. I don't think he was processing. I think it was a lot to do with learning the defense and everything like that, but he's been awesome in coverage all year. So
I agree. I would say the one thing that I think that while we're talking about the Steelers defense that I'm going to be looking to see is the elevated role for Preston Smith this week. No Alex Highsmith. He's going to go against Ronnie Stanley at left tackle. And I think that you're going to see what you traded for in this game. Obviously, you're going to see that elevated role, and then you have TJ Watt on that left side going against Rosengarten. Curious to see how he does against the rookie tackle, and curious to see how the rookie tackle does against TJ Watt if he gets.
Yeah, I like Rosengarten quite a bit actually, but yeah,
I know that TJ Watt in the sack department has been more quiet this year than in years past, especially over the last few games, but Lamar Jackson in his games against the Steelers has been sacked 20 times. I think that there's an opportunity to do that, and I'm just saying, I think that the edges are going to have a big deal in this game.
Don't say I didn't warn you, because you've faced likely an Andrews caliber starting tight ends. Yeah, I mean they have, but like what you're saying still has not been true. Yeah. And I don't. You think Andrews is still the exact same player that he has been? I feel like that the torch is starting to be passed to Isaiah Likely, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, he can only play against who he played so far. So, and he's been very good in terms of his specifically what we're talking about here in terms of his coverage. He has been good start to now. Like I said, wasn't a perfect player at the beginning of the year. There was a lot, like he hasn't had the splash. The run fits weren't the best. I didn't think he was processing that well. I don't think he was trusting his eyes yet within this defense. Yes, Andrews is still that guy. Okay. I think he's still a threat in the red zone. I don't think he is athletically the same player anymore between the 20s. I don't think I think that Likely is more of a threat to beat us vertically. That's all I'm saying. I think Minka said it best. All our stars and being team players doing the job has one goal, one band, one sound. Speaking of Minka, maybe he'll play into a bold prediction here in a second as well. Yeah, you mentioned TJ tied for 13th right now in the NFL in sacks, 6.5 this year. Now, granted, if he has one, all of a sudden he's tied for like 5th, just because of how close it is. But like Trey Hendrickson is 11 this year, Dexter Lawrence 9, Ante Fowler 8.5, Will McDonald 8. Yeah, so anyways, okay, let's get into some predictions, and then, like I said, we got to do this jersey stuff. So we'll start with our bold predictions, and then do our game ones. What is your bold prediction or bold predictions for this one?
My bold prediction is that I typically do one for the offense and the defense. Defensively, I'm going to say Patrick Queen has an interception in this game to spite Ravens 76 be more. I 100% off the cuff on that one, but Patrick Queen is going to need an interception in coverage. He's going to jump a route, and we're going to get an interception from him. Offensively, I do like Derek's prediction of a 50-yard George Pickens touchdown, but I think that you're going to get another Mike Williams touchdown in this game. I think that the Ravens are going to be too focused on George Pickens enough, and that's going to open it up things for Mike Williams. We saw what a threat he could be down the field on his one passing catch of last week, but I think that you're going to see a more elevated role for him this week, and I think there's opportunity on the opposite side of George Pickens to take advantage of that against a questionable Ravens secondary. So I'll say Mike Williams touchdown.
I don't. This isn't even like a bold prediction to me when you look at what Baltimore's offense has been this year, what the Steelers' offense has been over the last 3 weeks, and what Baltimore's defense has been all year. But the current over under on this game is 48.5. I think we're hitting that easily. Like, I think they're going to go at least 10 points over that. You'll see when I give my store prediction. But I don't know if that's considered bold, but yeah, well over the over for this game. I like the Patrick Queen thing. I'm actually going to go with Minka finally breaking his interception streak or non-interception streak.
Which is how many games?
20-ish.
It's been a while,
I think. Yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute since we've seen a Minka Fitzpatrick interception. He's playing super well. He is completely eliminating parts of the field and covering up things that otherwise the Steelers would be getting gashed doing. So, yeah, that's where I'm at defensively. I haven't given a ton of thought to the offense. If I got to pull one here just off the cuff, I don't even think I said one yesterday on the afternoon drive. So, I'll say okay, so Pat's averaging only 4 targets per game. I'm going to say he has 6+ catches.
I like it.
This is a game to do it. Game is 3.
Yeah, this is a game to do it. Questionable linebackers over the middle of the field for the Ravens. Isn't that right?
All right, let's get into our score predictions. I have gone back and forth about this one. Very easily could go. The only result that I really don't see is Steelers winning this one by multiple possessions. Like that, I could see close games from either side, and if things go wrong, I could see Baltimore running away with it. Oh wait, I want to see this first. You guys focused on past games versus Lamar. I do get it. Steelers had success against Lamar. Lamar's a different animal this year. I mean, if you were here the entire time with us talking about Lamar, you know that we are not focused on the past games with Lamar. I understand if you're talking with the chat as well, but I'm just saying with us specifically, I feel like we've definitely given Lamar his flowers in this Ravens offense. Their flowers, talking about how they're on historic pace this year. Yeah, it's not the same Ravens offense. I don't think you can just chalk it up to the Steelers' success in the past against this team. I've gone back and forth about this though. And, last Thursday's game between Cincinnati and Baltimore, I think a lot of people are right now considering that the game of the year. I'm going to say that this replaces that one. I think this is the new game of the year. And I'm calling this now. I said it should come down to special teams. Chris Boswell walk-off field goal ends this one. 34-31, Pittsburgh wins it.
I like it. Obviously, I like it for the outcome, but I like the theatrics of it as well.
I don't know if I'm still going to be breathing if this is actually the way that it goes down. So
yeah. Well, as my mom always says, my mom is the type of fan, and my dad and I completely wholeheartedly disagree. She would rather a close game, but your team comes out on top, as opposed to just blowing the other team out. Like I said, my dad and I wholeheartedly disagree. I'd rather win by 50. But yeah, no.
Honestly, even in a loss. Well, okay, so typically, I don't think so in this case because I want the Steelers to at least prove that they're, even if they lose this football game, I want them to prove that they should be in the conversation with these teams at the top of the AFC. So, like a close loss to me would still mean that that's within the realm of possibility that they are. Like in most cases, though, what I was going to say there is I would rather get blown out than lose, like just so I can turn it off. Or I guess in this case, I don't know what I would do because I'll be at the stadium. But like, typically, I'd rather just get blown out than lose close.
Go get more beer.
Well, not in my case, but yeah.
Oh yeah, not anymore.
Go get some potato patch. Yeah.
Just eat your with your emotions. Yeah. But yeah, I like that score prediction. I do think that that's probably in the area of score that we're talking about as far as like being a high scoring game. Like I don't see this being a 17-10 game like Steelers Ravens games of the past. Like I just I think that the defenses are going to be giving up their own, and I think that both offenses have opportunity to be able to score in this one. I'm going to say I think the Steelers are going to win, and I think that part of that also plays into the Ravens need to get the monkey off their back. I think that no matter what they've done, you want to say that they're better in the postseason recently than the Steelers, that's 100% true. But in the regular season, they have not beaten the Steelers at a regular rate. And I just don't think that
7 of the last 8.
Until that happens, I am still confident in the Steelers and what they're doing. Because there's been times like going into these games, like look at last season. The Ravens, you could probably argue, like outplayed the Steelers, but like you mentioned, there were 7 drops in that game by the Ravens offense. The Ravens probably deserved to win that one, but again, they couldn't beat the Steelers. So I'm just saying, I think that this is going to be a game where you're going to see a lot of offense. You're going to see difference, but until the Ravens can beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh as well, I want to see that actually happen before I can say that I think the Ravens are going to win. I think the Steelers are going to win this one 31-27.
Appreciate that, by the way. Ravens 76B more saying that they subbed to the channel. I mean, we try to be respectable and try to be as unbiased as possible while acknowledging
try to be realistic. while also, we try to be realistic while also having a bias of wanting the Steelers to win. We've said that for the entire time we've done our podcast since 2017. The only bias we have is that we want the teams to win, but we try to be as realistic as possible about those teams.
Off the record, if the Bengals get their defense right, the Bengals are dangerous and scary. Yeah, I mean, that offense is stupid. That's why, like I said, it might sound stupid, but that Thursday night game, I was actually rooting for the Ravens to win, while I think most people are rooting for the Bengals, just because I feel like it's pretty obvious the Steelers and Ravens are both going to make the playoffs. The Bengals, because of where their record is, obviously not so obvious. Just keep pushing them back as far as we can. Not even have them be part of the conversation, because I do think that they could make some noise if they get in the dance. Let's not even let them in. So I was just rooting for them to be out of the picture completely. So hopefully they lose this upcoming Sunday night to the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, so let us know your thoughts, obviously, in the comments and stuff if you're watching this back. But it's time, and this is going to apply more to the people that are in the live chat now, because this really isn't going to help you if you are watching this back. But hey, if you want to still stick around, hang out, and see how things went, what we're going to do now is auction off some jerseys. I mentioned we do a Christmas fundraiser every single year. Nice enough that one of our Twitter followers, Ricky, donated 4 jerseys, and then I have 5 on my own. You know, as I've gotten older, Tyler, I've become less and less of a jersey guy. After doing this, I'm only going to have like 3 more in my closet. So I'm just really wearing team apparel now. Appreciate that, Ravens 76B more. Enjoy the game. Hope it's a good one. So what we're going to do is auction off these jerseys. Every penny that gets donated from this, or is auctioned from this, I should say, is going to go to the Christmas mission as well. So if you're in here, if you want a chance to win a jersey, stick around and we'll get started here as soon as I grab one of these. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Anybody knows this is our baby, and we have like less than a month away, so we want to help as much people as possible. So like Smitty just mentioned, like all proceeds from this are going to go to the families of Rocket Around the 412.
Yep. So that's obviously awesome. We appreciate what everybody has done for us with this mission and everything like that. So we're going to start with Minka, because I have 2 Minka jerseys. I have the away one, the away white, and then the block number alternate. So we'll start with the white Minka Fitzpatrick jersey, fully stitched. And you know, I was sitting here, I was like, what's the least amount that I'd be okay? Like, so even if these get like $10 or something like that, I feel like I'd be fine with. I know that like it's giving people the opportunity to get a jersey that otherwise wouldn't, depending on how low these things go for. So I'm cool with that. We can start it at $10. So if you are interested in this Minka Fitzpatrick jersey for as low as $10, let me get $10 put in the live chat, and that will start the auction. Not literally $10. Do not donate $10 as a super chat. Literally just type $10, and that will start the auction. Because we've had people that do super chats and stuff before, which, by the way, if you want to keep them coming. But
yeah, that's a good question. What sizes are these jerseys?
Oh, my bad. Some of them are XL and some of them are double XL. This one specifically, Minka away, is a double XL.
Double XL. XXXXXXXX.
Matt, is that a fat joke?
An Octa XL?
Come on, Matt. I'm on a citrus fruits diet.
Here, I'll post. If you see, this is the away Minka jersey.
Mm-hmm. This is riveting stuff, by the way.
This is riveting. $10. Should we show some more jerseys and give people some more options?
And let people know. what we're working with.
Know
okay.
what this is
the one. With. This is the one that we're doing right now. Mitch Fitzpatrick away jersey. We just talked about him. Is he going to start stacking weeks? Broderick Jones, 77.
We got $10 in the chat with Tyler Hurnley.
Okay, Tyler Hurnley right now, $10. So now that it's started, you got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to keep going up bid. You can go up by $1. But in 5 minutes, if nobody else has bid higher than Tyler, the jersey's his for $10. $10. Include shipping. That's like it'd be more than $10 to ship jerseys sometimes. So
again, all the money is going to go to Rocking Around the 412. It's going to our Christmas fundraiser. So
Color Rush has entered the chat. Alex Highsmith, number 56, not playing this week. Hopefully a quick recovery. We can get him back out there. Alex Highsmith, Color Rush, also stitched. I probably don't have to say that. I think they all are. But either way. Another.
They'll pay us a 10 for a Jones jersey.
It depends. If he plays like Washington, he did against Washington, no, you have to pay me $10. If he plays like he did against like the Chargers or like 5 other games this
Cowboys
year.
Or
yeah. Block number, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
That's a good one.
Oh, wait. Let me get this one out of the way. This one I might have to pay somebody $10 to take. I don't know what salute to service year this was, but
Antonio Brown.
you could tape over that, you could stitch over that. You do whatever you want with it. Also stitch though. So yeah, Mike.
Yeah. You know say the size with the jersey, Smitty. Come on, what are we doing?
That's a good call. So let me update, and then I'll do that for the rest of them. But so far, what we've seen, the Minkah Fitzpatrick away is a double XL. The Broderick Jones home is an XL. Alex Highsmith Color Rush is XXL. Minkah Fitzpatrick block number is XL. And Antonio Brown salute to service is double XL.
So if you're a skinny guy, sorry. No small jerseys around here.
Sorry, Boston. George Pickens home jersey. This is an XL. Big Ben home jersey. Oh, the rest of these are double XL, by the way. These ones were donated from somebody else.
Hey, Boston, this might be the only time you'll ever hear me say this, but go Utes today, huh? How about it in Boulder?
Big Ben alternate has the 75 season patch on it, which is pretty sweet. It's a nice little touch.
That is cool.
XXL. And last, but certainly not least, Troy P. alternate also has the 75th year. And that's a double XL as well. All right, so we're still on the away, Minkah. You got 1 minute, Tyler. 1 minute until Tyler gets that Minkah.
We technically do have a bid for the black Minkah jersey already.
Well, when we get to that, keep that in mind. But anyways, $10, 1 minute to go. Is Tyler Hurnley going to get a Minkah Fitzpatrick away XXL jersey for $10? Do I hear 11?
You have the Heinz 75th anniversary jersey, Tyler. That's cool.
Ooh. Sorry for that response, but all right, there it is. We'll move on to the next one, Tyler. I think you've already donated. So just submit another donation or send me $10 on Venmo, and the jersey's yours. Okay. So which one do? Oh, Broderick Jones, the Broderick Jones home jersey, which is a size XL. We'll start it at $10 if anybody wants to pay $10 for a Broderick Jones jersey. You know, maybe he turns it around. Maybe the Washington week was a sign of things to come.
Hard nose, smash mouth, Pittsburgh Steelers football beats the Ratbirds tomorrow. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. I love it.
This person's pumped. Monongahela Mike starts at $10. That was actually quicker than I expected. So, all right, there we go. So now from here, 5 minutes. So at 11:01, if no one has went over $10, sorry, Adam, you got to go to 11 now. If you want
it. Joe Green.
Could be.
We have a bidding war.
Right, Adam.
We have a bidding war.
Adam goes to 11. 12.
12. This is exciting.
You know, somebody probably could jump up like,
13.
Somebody could probably jump up like $5 and be pretty safe to get it, but instead they should go back
14.
1. Payment method. Honestly, you could donate
to the GoFundMe, or you could send the money directly to us on like Venmo.
Yeah, but I have literally everything. So if you don't have Venmo, if you'd rather PayPal,
Cash App, PayPal,
whatever.
Yeah. So we're not doing the Broderick Jones. Are we doing it where it resets the timer every time somebody does it, or you just have 5-minute auction? Okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, we got to keep this thing moving.
Yeah, so,
Adam, 15.
I mean, so we've got 3 minutes left on this one. $15. Mm-hmm. Man, we got a lot of Broderick Jones fans in here.
Yeah, more than Minka? You guys pay more for a Broderick jersey than a Minka? I guess unless you have Minka or you don't like the away jersey or something. I don't know.
Maybe this is a hot take. I have always felt like the away jerseys look better on fans than home jerseys, but the away jerseys scare me because they're all white, and I don't want to get anything on them.
Well, so for me, like I only wear it at my house, like away jerseys at my house.
Yeah.
So, like I wouldn't wear one to a game.
I love this. Broderick is going to be a legend.
A legend. He'll be remembered. 3 minutes left. Current bid $15 for a Broderick Jones home extra large jersey, fully stitched.
I think we have 2 minutes left because Monongahela Mike commented at 9:55 or 10:55. Excuse me, okay. For your Eastern people.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I was looking at the time when he said 12 but he commented 10 at 10:55. All right, $15 to Adam.
And I just posted the GoFundMe link in the comments in case any of you don't necessarily want a jersey, but you are interested in donating. We will also happily take any donations because, as we've mentioned several times, all this gets donated to families in the local Pittsburgh area. We have, over the past 6 years, been able to raise over $32,000. We're over $36,000 right now and counting. To be able to provide children in the local Pittsburgh area the Christmas they've always deserved. Smitty and I never had to worry about where Christmas was coming from growing up, so we wanted to start that and being able to give back. We also partner with the East Rochester Salvation Army to be able to adopt kids off of their angel tree. We've already adopted around 50 kids this year off the angel tree. We're going to be helping over 50 kids. This is the most kids in a single year that we're going to be helping so far this season. And we want to be able to continue to do that. So the more money we're able to raise, the more children that it will affect. We have less than a month away from whenever this thing is cutting off. December 9th is whenever the Salvation Army needs to get all of their gifts back. And then December 14th is when we're cutting off our GoFundMe. That way we can make sure we can get the gifts and get them to the families for that time of year. So if you're interested, I posted the links. I'll probably continue to post them a few times as people are coming in and out of this thing throughout this live. But yeah, you can donate to the GoFundMe there. And as Smitty mentioned, you can also just send the money directly to us as well if you want to on pretty much everything. PayPal, GoFundMe, Cash App, we have it all. You can also donate that way too.
Good to bring up. I mean, what a terrible time for you to start going into that, though, because that was during the time when, Adam's auction ended. So,
sorry.
$15 to Adam. You are the winner of the Broderick Jones jersey. So, yeah, LA Knight Voice, send over $15 and the jersey is yours, whatever payment method. Boston says auction around the 412 signed hoodie next. I don't know. That we might have to pay people to take.
I mean,
these I'm hoping
Boston might pay for it. I think he might be the only one to pay for it, though.
All right, let's just get rid of this one. We'll see if anybody even wants this one. I don't know how many fans he still has, but Antonio Brown, salute to service, 2XL. I'll grab it so you guys can see it. That would make sense to do.
Boston wants 15 on the AB.
He would. It's a nice jersey. Like, I love the look of these salute to service jerseys. It might be the only jersey that I like aesthetically I'm cool with that they don't wear on the field, because they normally look stupid to me once they don't actually wear. Like those gold, like the gold primary color with the black numbers, or like the ones that are like a split jersey. Those things suck. I'm very passionate about that. Adam, yeah, my Venmo. Let me make sure I'm not giving you the wrong thing. Zachary_Smith 23. All right, Antonio Brown. Boston started at 11:01, so 4 more minutes. That's a good idea, though, Adam, to put your address right on there. Smart man.
And we are asking that people send us the money right away, like while the live's still going. Because if we don't get it, then we're just going to be stuck with the jerseys again.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying before when I was like trying to figure out in my head logistically how this was going to work. Check is in the mail.
Check is in the mail.
For what? For the mission? A 20. Uh-oh, Boston. Uh-oh. Jody at $20 for the Antonio Brown.
That's pretty wild.
Here we go. 21.
Was 19 plus 10. 21. You're stupid. You can definitely tell there's a generational gap above and below. If you there's going to be a threshold where when you ask what's 19 plus 10, someone is not going to say 21 at a certain age above you, and there's also going to be the same age below us. We are in the middle of that threshold, but there's going to be a cutoff at some point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if I ask my 8-year-old niece what's 19 plus 10, she's just going to say 19. Or no. 9 plus 10. 9 plus 10. She's going to say 19.
Boston's at 30 with 1 minute to go. Adam, I'm pretty sure you can skip that, but if you can't, just DM me on something. Like it's a security thing for you. Like I get it why they ask for that, but I'm pretty sure you can just say that you don't.
I think you can say trust this person or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. 1 minute, Jody. Do you want to go past 30? There we go.
You can have it.
We got a concession. Are we doing a speech as well? Concession speech? All right, there we go. Antonio Brown jersey. Off the market to Boston for $30. Appreciate it. Which one do we want to go to next? Let's do Alex Highsmith Color Rush. It's a 2XL jersey. Again, we'll start it at $10. I'll grab it, but $10 starts the auction. Alex Highsmith. 2XL. James is at $10. Boston's at 20. Boston, what are you trying to do, pal?
He's trying to help kids at Christmas time.
I appreciate it, but is he trying to clean house?
You got 25 from James, 30 from Boston. For the cause. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Be funny if he just from here on out got everyone.
I mean, we always say if people don't donate, they hate children. So
yeah, clearly Boston.
If people don't want a jersey for $30, they hate kids in the Pittsburgh area.
Boston must be the biggest fan of kids. Are they all XX? No, some of them are XL as well. Like the next one that I'll do is probably the Minka block number, which is an XL. The Broderick Jones we just did was an XL. There's a George Pickens home one that is an XL. And then the other ones are XX.
And I don't know if H. Bishop is still in here, but he did have a $20 bid on that Minka block jersey.
Yeah,
that will still be good for when we auction that one off.
Yeah, so we got to start that one at 20.
Just want to make sure that you're still in here for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, even if they're not here, I guess like if no one goes above that band, that like I just know to reach out to him because I know who that is. He watches Afternoon Drive as well. Oh, here he is.
Still there. Austin, you guys see the little Steelers outfit right there? It's for my daughter that's going to be born in a few weeks.
I'm excited. Thomas, there was already 30 from Boston, I believe. Although chat might be loading slow for you. I'm not sure, but
yeah, if you're talking about the Alex Highsmith jersey, Thomas, we're at 30 for that one.
2 minutes left. 11-11. Make a wish.
Thank you.
Also
James.
win. We'll win.
Yeah, I think that it's pretty sick, if I'm being honest. It's like a little dress, like cheerleader outfit sort of deal, even though the Steelers don't have cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
But it is 0 to 3 months, so she gets to wear this like the month of December and then hopefully all throughout the month of January as well.
What are we starting the betting at?
Oh, for that one?
Dude, why so many people feel this way?
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten so many comments throughout the years, not just this season, that people. Has anyone ever told you guys could be brothers? I'm like, yeah. Smitty got the looks. I got the height.
All right. Anybody want to go over $30? Going once, going twice. It's sold. Boston again. $30. Alex Highsmith. 2X jersey. All right, let's do one of the Ben ones actually, because I forgot there was two of them. So Ben Roethlisberger, 2X home jersey.
Started off at $10. If anybody wants the Ben Roethlisberger home jersey, 2XL.
Back when they were Reebok boys.
Oh, so that's a vintage.
Yeah.
When did they make the switch to Nike?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Look that up.
Have we had you had you don't have Permanis out there at all, huh?
No. In Oklahoma?
It's not like Florida how there's a couple random ones or like.
Well, do you know the story about why there's a Permanis in Florida?
No.
So I guess there was a pizza shop in Florida that the people that own Permanis or created Permanis liked their pizza shop. They wanted to sell their pizza shop, the pizza in Permanis. And this might be wrong, but this is what I've been told. The agreement was they could sell the pizza in Permanis, but they have to open up a few Permanis in Florida as well. And so that's why there's a couple in Florida. So the pizza that you get for the Permanis with the small pepperonis, that's pretty good pizza. That's actually based out of someone in Florida.
Anyways, the reason I asked, you guys get that Russ Wilson sandwich yet? Yeah, the Dangerous sandwich. It's actually pretty good. Definitely. So here's the thing. I'll admit this on here, I guess, even though I'll probably get roasted for it. Not a coleslaw guy, not a tomato guy.
Boo.
So,
boo.
I guess you could say I don't get it the traditional way. And then to me, you got to add an egg. So.
All right, guys, we just need someone to want this Ben jersey for $10.
Yeah, if no one wants it, I'll just move on to the next one.
Yeah, if nobody wants it, we'll go.
I got a haircut appointment to get to, so.
Like I feel like if nobody puts in a bid for a jersey within like the first 2 minutes, we should just go to the next one.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to this one at the end then and just move on.
Reebok $12 from Boston.
we'll come back to it afterwards. We'll go. Somebody was asking about XL, so we'll go to an XL one. Minkah Fitzpatrick block number XL,
which we do have a bid on. Let me find it so I can post it.
Yep. Yeah, this one you got to start at 20 or 21. I guess would have to be the next one.
I got to scroll up pretty far to find this thing. There it is. From Bishop, $20 for the Minkah Black XL.
Oh, we're already at 30. Sorry, Boston. James got in 31st, so at least on my screen. James, you don't have to up it yet. Oh, my. Oh, mama, I'm in fear.
$40, man.
41.
We love kids around here. We love helping kids at Christmas time.
The Minka block number, the one to do it, huh?
I guess so.
No, never mind. What? Wait, what do you mean never mind? Okay, so I guess Mike's at 40 is still. Wait, is this a legit
$45? 50. Oh, damn. Okay, so these 325s? Are they all for? They were all for the Minka one, so they're all at 10:14. So we have till, or they were all at 11:14. So we have till 11:19 for this one. The exchange rate is going to kill me. We have until 11:19 for this one because the even though the original bid was $20 for Bishop like 20 minutes ago, then people bid $25. So we're going to start that as the actual timer because we don't have like the original bid was like 20 minutes ago, like I said. Also, the exchange rate is going to kill me. Or no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Exchange rate is going to kill. Where are you from? Canadian yins are here.
Oh, that's dope.
Any mediums or smalls? Unfortunately not. This is a big boy podcast.
Wait, I guess this is Boston going to 55. We got to be clear about that for because
Holcomb is a beast. Yeah, unfortunately he hasn't played all year. $55. Okay, yeah. So the bid is at 55. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any mediums or smalls. These are jerseys either coming out of Smitty's collections or ones that were donated, and they tend to be on the larger side, the extra larger side, actually.
To be specific, yes. Oh, come on, Anthony! What the?
Big back podcast. I don't understand the reference.
He's calling us fat.
Well, we have a big back.
Yeah,
I do have a big back.
What's fun? None of these are even yours, so like it doesn't even apply to the XLs. Were mine. The 2 XLs were donated. Big back, big back. Dude, my niece just walks around saying that. Has it been? It's been 4 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, we have 1 minute. We have until 11:19. We've got 30 seconds.
Here we go again.
I almost thought you guys were twins.
I take that as an insult.
Okay.
Yeah, Hayden, I had a feeling that the $20 wasn't going to hold up, but
maybe there's an opportunity in the next one.
Probably not, but
maybe
if you wanted the if you're looking for an XL, there's only one more.
Well, I should say maybe, right, but Boston's in here, so I never know what is going to actually be the case.
All right, let's go to we'll go to the Troy P. So Troy Polamalu, alternate 2XL, has the 75th year patch on it as well.
First time joining the pod? Well, thank you.
No, it's just that literally like so many people say that. That's why I thought it was funny. Like someone said it like 5 minutes ago as well. But we appreciate that. Thank you for finding us.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to subscribe to the channel, We
This
do
is
weekly
not typically
podcasts.
How it goes, by the way. Yeah,
we do Steelers Saturday sit down on Saturday mornings where we just preview the Ravens. So if you missed that already and you want to jump back in, you can watch the replay of that. And also we have the Steelers show and the Penguins show that come out during the week. Sometimes we have a Pirates show, but we haven't had one of those in a couple months.
Any Kenny Pickett jerseys available? Yeah, actually, if you want, I had two. Thomas is at $10. That's the bid right now. So $11.24. First time on the pod, but we've exchanged a few times on X. What's the exchange fee there on X?
You're hilarious.
I thought this was going to be one that maybe it's because it's 2X. I thought this was going to be one that a lot of people were in on.
Yeah, 2X Troy Polamalu home jersey 75th anniversary patch going up right now. Bid is currently $10. We've got 3 more minutes for this one.
This was like the Color Rush before Color Rush.
I use a Kenny Pickett jersey to pick up dog poop.
Best jersey they got.
In your opinion, what is worth less right now? So what is okay, before I say what I was going to say, what's the difference between Color Rush and that jersey? Like, is there any coloring difference, stitching difference? Like, hey, we got Hayden Bishop, $15. New bid.
Yeah, I don't know.
We got 2 minutes left. But what I was going to say, what do you think is worth less right now? A Kenny Pickett Steelers jersey or a Devin Bush Steelers jersey?
Do you have to keep the name that currently is on
Yes. Yes. It has to be that jersey, like that player's jersey.
Because I feel like that's the difference, right? Because you could change the Bush to like a Joey Porter. Pickett played quarterback, which holds a little bit more value, I think.
$17 from Boston. And we've got about 30 seconds left. So if you want to get a final bid in.
Thomas, there's a GP jersey. It's next.
Kieran says Kenny Pickett, Anthony, that's hard. James Smith, yes. Yeah, I mean, neither of them are good. Guy Russ jersey, no, unfortunately
18.
not. Hayden gets in with 18. And
did he time that?
Yeah, I think that does it. We are now at 10:24 in 10 seconds. Yeah, we're good. $18 wins it for Hayden. If you want to either do a donation to the GoFundMe, and I'll link that again. You can either donate to the GoFundMe, or you can send it to Smitty directly on PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, whatever you want to send it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, no Russell Wilson jerseys.
No. But next up, we just got asked about this one. George Pickens. Home jersey, fully stitched. What's the GoFundMe for? Do you want to do it again, or do you want me to do it?
I mean, so over the last 6 years, we have raised money for providing children in the local Pittsburgh area Christmas. Like Smitty and I never had to worry about where Christmas was going to come from growing up, so we wanted to be able to give back to that. And so we started rocking around the 412, like a play on rocking around the Christmas tree. And being able to raise money to provide children for initially it was a children's center in Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. And then it turned into just doing individual families that get nominated by people or by school districts, and just finding families in need that could use the help that time of year. And then over the past several years, we've partnered with the East Rochester, Pennsylvania Salvation Army and adopt kids off of their Angel Tree as well. So so far this year, we've adopted close to 50 kids off of the Angel Tree, and there's a few individual families that we're also helping this year as well. We're going to be helping over 50 kids this year. So that's what the GoFundMe is for. All of the money gets donated to the children as well. Like, we don't keep anything. It goes directly to the families, and even the leftover money, we typically provide, at least for the individual families, like a gift card for like a Christmas dinner or like some sort of holiday meal that they can get as well. And then if you do donate at least $10, you are eligible to win some prizes that we have. We have Penguins tickets that we always give away to people that donate. We've got Around the 412 merch that we're giving away. A few Game Changers shirts. If you haven't checked out Game Changers, they're one of our sponsors for the show. Use code AT412 to get $10 off your order at Game Changers. But also, people are going to win a couple Game Changers shirts. And when I say it's going to be a couple people, not like you win multiple, like for one shirt per person. We got a signed Pat Fryermuth jersey. We have a couple other Steelers jerseys being given away. Do we have another signed jersey? We have a signed
Jared Jones
jersey. Jared Jones jersey being given away. We have a training camp poster that is signed by 21 people within the Steelers organization.
I have that, by the way. I got it from John yesterday.
Oh, nice. So we have a training camp poster that's signed by 21 people in the Steelers organization. That will be given away. Also, a James Daniels used visor, game used visor, that will be given away. So there's incentive to donate as well, and there's a ton of stuff that we give away as incentive to donate for people that want to give back. So yeah, that's the whole gist of it, is that it's a Christmas fundraiser to help local kids in the Pittsburgh area around this time of year, because those kids need it, and we want to be able to do as much as we can to help those kids out.
This is James Daniels' visor, worn on Monday Night Football against the Cleveland Browns last year.
I appreciate that, Kieran. Thank you.
Where are we at with the GP?
Jody won her Game Changer shirt at the draft party last year.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. 30 for Mike, I believe, is where we're at right now. But what's the time on it? 1 minute.
So we're giving each jersey, once a bid gets in, 5 minutes. So the first one was done at 10:24. So we have about 30 seconds left on this jersey. Sorry, his. I said won her jersey. That was a slip. I meant his. What are we on? We were on the George Pickens home jersey, which has about 10 seconds left.
$30. Boom. There we go. Monongahela Mike. $30 George Pickens jersey. And the finale. You get to sit in a suite with Art Rooney II. No, I'm just kidding. Big Ben, the alternate, also 75 years. 2XL. Yeah, it's between this or a Gunnar Olszewski. Yeah, sorry, Boston. We'd love to have been able to take the 50 instead of the 30, but rules is rules. Mike, yeah, you could either Venmo me, Zachary_Smith23 if you have Venmo, or shoot me a message on something if you don't have Venmo, or you can just use the GoFundMe link directly.
Okay. Big Ben's 75th. A lot of 75th anniversary jerseys going out today.
Yeah, that's what Ricky sent me. But this last one's a 2X.
I just put in the comments what the jersey is for anybody that is asking. This is the last jersey that we have. XXL Big Ben 75th anniversary alternate jersey. What's up?
Like for Boston, because I know Boston, and he also like Venmo'd me what it was for each thing. I've tried to do a good job keeping track, but if you won something, please reach out to me as well. Just as like a.
How often do you guys do jersey auctions? This is the first time we're ever doing a jersey auction. The whole goal for that was to raise money for our fundraiser. I don't know. Maybe if we get more donations like this in the future, we could do something like this again. What's Steelers uniform for Sunday? I would assume just their normal home jersey, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything different.
Yeah. They use the block. They use the color rush. I think it's just back to normal home and away jerseys. Mike says he just sent it on GoFundMe.
Okay.
So there'll be another next Saturday. No, I guess I should have rephrased that. Not necessarily if we get more donations. If we get more donated jerseys that we can auction off, because some of these jerseys are coming from Smitty's personal collection. Also, some of them got donated to us. We don't just have a ton of jerseys. So if we get more jerseys given to us for us to auction off for something like this, then yeah, we could do this in the future. Sorry, just joined. What is going on? So we've been doing a jersey auction for raising money for Christmas for a Rocket Around the 412 GoFundMe like fundraiser, and that's helping children in the local Pittsburgh area. So right now we are on a double XL Big Ben 75th anniversary alternate jersey. That's the last jersey that we have today, and right now the current bid is $30 for it, and we have 5 minutes for each bid. So we have 3 minutes left on this jersey for the auction. We've got $50 from Lucky Lore.
Oh, is that a bid for this, or just they want to donate that to the?
I don't know. Is that a bid for the jersey, or you just want to donate the money? Because if it's a bid for the jersey, then that's great. You're the lead bid if you want to donate the money. I put the GoFundMe in the link just now, or in the comments just now, and also you could just send the money directly to Smitty as well. So I guess just specify if it's for the jersey or just a donation.
I mean, what if you're willing to put? I would say for the jersey, but
yeah.
I just want to be clear. I'm gonna have to go back through on some of these.
For the jersey. Okay. So we have about a minute and a half left. So if anyone wants to donate more than $50 for the Big Ben 75th anniversary alternate jersey, do it in the next minute and 25 seconds, minute 20 seconds. $55 Boston. Jeez.
He's hilarious.
Thank you, Boston. But you're just a degenerate over here.
He's gonna make all his money back sports betting today.
That's true. Although Boston, what sports book do you use if you sports bet? Because I don't think you can use them in Utah, right?
I don't know if he does. I was just saying that.
Oh. Because I know that was one thing when I moved to Utah is that I couldn't use FanDuel Sportsbook or DraftKings or anything because they're not operating in Utah. Okay, we got about 30 seconds left on this Big Ben jersey. If anybody wants to go over $55, the jersey is yours.
What the? See, what was that? Boston bidding against himself. Oh, prize picks. You can do prize picks out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was probably.
There we have it. Boston again. Not a clean
5 or 60.
55. I mean, no one bid over it, so
that's true.
Is Boston preemptively thinking people are going to bid above it because he has the lag in the chat? Somebody actually just bid $900.
They just
all right, so yeah, send me that and good stuff. The last thing, no one bid on that Ben Roethlisberger home double XL. So if anybody wants that for $10, just say in the chat right now,
Yeah, anybody wants the Big Ben home jersey for $10. We don't need to auction it off. First person that claims it gets it. Also, yeah, it was probably a good thing whenever I moved to Utah. When I did, I was becoming a pretty big degenerate on FanDuel Sportsbook. Because not only did I have the sports betting, but I also started playing blackjack on FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was probably a good thing that I just got cut off cold turkey.
Appreciate you, bro. Boston paid $70 for it, even though no one bid over 55. Actually, no one bid over 51. No one even bid 51.
Didn't he hear the $900 bid?
He could have said 51 and been good. But appreciate everybody.
The last thing is the Big Ben jersey, home jersey.
Yeah, I don't think
if anybody wants it, like I said, just say I guess we could post it on. Can we post it on Twitter? See if people want it on there.
Yeah, that's what I'll do next.
All right.
But all right, appreciate y'all. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't yet. Appreciate everybody that was in the live chat for this, or if you're watching back. There was definitely some football talk that took place at the beginning. So if you missed that, if you came in late, be sure to go and watch that as we preview the game against the Baltimore Ravens. Very exciting stuff. Not sure what we're going to do for the week yet, because obviously we play again on Thursday night against Cleveland. So we're not going to do a preview of that on Saturday. Let us know what you guys think. Maybe we can take some suggestions for what you guys want us to do in terms of that this week. So let us know in the comments on that as well. Be sure to hit us in the comments because you can ask us a question for a future episode of the podcast, or maybe even on a Steelers Saturday sit down. We can just have a Q&A type thing at some point. So let us know what you think about that. Otherwise, Tyler, you got anything else to
add? No, thank you to everybody that donated. The jerseys. We'll get those out to you. But again, thank you for everybody that donates to Rock Around the 412. We say it several times throughout the year, but this is our baby. This is the favorite thing that we do. It's the best thing that has come from this podcast. So every single year, especially we're in mid-November, crazy. We only have a month left, but we get to really appreciate everybody that donates, and you get to see the how it gets paid forward to these kids and the impact that everybody has. So just thank you again to everybody that donated to it.
Mike, real quick, I see you at the bottom there. How do I get you my address? I'm not sure if you're on like any forms of social media, but just reach out to me, Zachary Smith, PUGH, or around the 412, or you can email me at around the 412@gmail.com. So be sure to do that. But I see you on here all the time. So like if I don't get a message from you, can you like whisper or reach out to people directly on YouTube? I don't think, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
So yeah, do that, I guess. But I don't really just want to throw my phone number out there, but I guess I did on Twitter one time. So a lot of people probably have it anyway. But anyways, appreciate y'all for being in here. Can't thank you enough. And like Tyler said, appreciate, all the donations that we get. Anybody that was part of this auction, appreciate you. You'll definitely get your jersey here in the near future. I send out from work for free, and it's like 2-day shipping. So you'll get them next week for sure. So anybody that got a jersey, expect that in the mail next week. Until then, for Tyler, for Smitty, this has been another Steelers Saturday Sit Down. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.